Right, we should be going. Should have its thing. Right. Looking at this now. See if the stream's gonna get all the things up. It is. It's gonna send in the notification. We wait for the lobby to fill up. We should have full 20 for round 3, Azerbaijan, which is going to be a fun one to watch. Being 2-1, you would expect a few few really good overtakes, some clean racing, but Azerbaijan doesn't really offer that much. Most of the time, Azerbaijan is just safety cars and collisions, so we should see how that one plays out. Hello, everyone joining now. Hello, Donnie.
Hello, Pyro. I just want you to like wish me luck before I race because yes.
Alright, good luck, mate. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. I just asked for that. Alright, bye.
Alright. Alright, I guess just random things happen whenever I stream. This is just normal at this point. We just do random things the longer we go on. We got a couple of people being annoyed by the looks of it, depending on the reserves. Everyone's the problem. Everyone's available, sorry. Not everyone's a problem. We've got 16 at the moment. As for... I'm without a doubt guessing we're ending with 20. Everyone's moaning about places. I think we should get a good one here. I think we should get a good one. If Tier 2 was anything to go by on Sunday night, this should be interesting. We had quite a lot happening in Tier 2 on Sunday night, actually. I'm not going to complain with Azerbaijan, because I got 4th, so... my first points of the season, so I can't really complain. Are we going to get... The real question is, are we going to get anything like what we did at the end of last week at Monza? Because obviously, for those who haven't watched Monza, basically what happened on the last lap was going into Ascari, Rudy and BR4 were basically side by side. BR4 got distracted by Randers and a wall and clipped Rudy, and it just allowed for racing to get on through and take the win. 119 now. Should be good. See what's going on here. We do have the notification here, aren't we? Yeah, we do have the notification in chat. Thankfully. To a couple of people watching right now, how are you doing? As we wait for lobby to get going. See, my watch is still an hour behind. I see that my, when I'm looking at the tier 1, right, the standings and all that, I see that my predictions have gone down awfully well. Zero and Bambino's nowhere near the front of the championship. McLaren, had that first race in Bahrain that just absolutely haunted their chances at the moment. And BR4 was in the hello, Are we going to get the full 20? We do have the full 20. Hello, Donny. Yeah, Jacobo's here, so everybody's here. Everybody's here. Obviously, Mitchell had his third race downgraded from a third race ban to a qualifying ban. Sort of a, well, I don't want to say peace offering, but I think some might look at it that way. Looks like people are starting to ready up. We might be all but ready to go. See, Stella's just questioning why Mitchell's in. Oh my god. Oh, that response. Oh, that's something. Is everyone looking forward to this one? I actually am when I'm going for and I'm looking at some of the guys in this lobby and the track we are at. Like Stell, Rob might not be happy that Mitchell's racing. Close my bedroom door. Alright, waiting for everyone to load in so we can actually watch qualifying. Should be rather interesting. As per usual, I'll say it now so I don't have to say it at the start of qualifying. When it comes to the start of qualifying, we'll watch the first guy out of the pits, both his out lap and his flying lap. Until there is an invalidation on a flying lap, then we'll move on. Let's have the settings sorted here. So full track map, lap data enabled for qualifying, doesn't get enabled for the race. I mean, we could put in telemetry. Maybe. Might do that eventually. See if we run out of things. Who's going to be the first out though? See, no one in a rush. And a good look down the pit lane. Absolutely nobody in a rush. How long are we getting before the first car comes on grid? I see a red dot. I see a Ferrari. I see that it's the first one out. I almost got a thing for jumping out the pit line immediately. Someone in the Discord just said we might get rain at some point. Assume that's a race. We might get rain. That could throw in an extra dimension entirely, considering that a few people I already know struggle here. Logan in particular. So watching is the first one out, so here's the first one we watch. See there's a Alfa Romeo, I assume that's Logan. It is Logan. Then you see the Mercedes of Jacobo just hanging off the back. Is Logan gonna go past him? I was about to say, that'd be a bit weird. I don't think Logan would go past him. Might just be looking to set his qualifying lap first. He is looking to set his qualifying lap first. Are we racing in qualifying, lads? I don't think that's necessary. Each to their own. And Logan obviously wants clear. No, but it's going to be Captain Obvious here and say that he wants clear air. But as per we do the first person out, not the first person over the line. So we'll still watch M's first lap. DRS before going in to the into his flying lap. Here we go, around turn 1. It's a little bit shaky. Yeah, no, that's actually not that bad. Gets a good exit out of it, that's for sure. And now he's right behind Logan. These two are... Oh, did someone just hit a wall back there? Looked like it. I think he did. May have just been sliding. Around the third corner. It's not bad of a lap, but whether he's been impeded by Logan in front is a different question. These two going roughly the same speed, so you would so it looks like. That last corner there before the castle is always tricky, because if you get it wrong, there's a long way, a long list of things you can do to invalidate that. Almost invalidates that out of castle. There we go, through sector 2 toward the end of it. Into the downhill corner. Now break yourself, it could be the end of your race. Goes into end of sector 2, the yellow flag in sector 1 for Aston Martin. He did and then in sector 2 is a 1:15. I like that purple for sector 2 there. It's flashed up purple anyway. Don't know if I can trust this game when it comes to actual purples. With the slipstream down on Logan. And with the DRS as well. You would expect that probably has a faster lap then. Yep, definitely has a faster lap. It's only 7/10 and it's only a 39.7, which I would expect to be a lot better when it comes round. Let's watch BR4 next. Racing to the 39.4. And there's Ishmael with a 39 flat. Immediately, what I thought would happen has happened. There's a couple of guys slowing down to let people pass. Going down into turn 2. That was very wide by BR4, but still keeps it valid. See what he's going to do through the second sector, considering it's about 1:15 something. It looked like it was low. 38.3. Has missed David there actually. David did a 38.756 to put him second. Still a 38.390 to put him on pole. That is a fast banker lap. A 38.3 on the banker. It's very good. We come down the straight now. Let's see what BR4 can put up. He's going to do a 39.2. Puts him 4th at the moment. Schmel wouldn't be complaining if he's anywhere near where he is now. Let's see what Joe's doing. Joe's doing a lap on the mediums. What about Mark? Mark is driving past a Ferrari that's parked into Castle. What has happened to What have you done there, Let's have a look at Mark. Let's see the end of his lap. I have no idea how you've managed that. That's the Alfa Romeo slowing down through a couple of corners there. Coming up to it. Racing's retired from the session. Well, that was eventful. I assume. Oh, Mark, Jesus Christ, getting a bit squirrely out of the exit. Got a couple of guys coming through. You see Racing just completely ended his. Mitchell's got a qualifying ban, obviously. Rantis, Bambino, both the Haas have put themselves up there. 39.1 for Rantis 39 for Bambino, Margaret a 41th lap, so it's not particularly great. As for who else is out on, there's looks purple there for Alu. I'm not sure if that's the case. Flashed up purple anyway. I'll take up, and won't matter now because he invalidated exactly what I thought. The corner that I said earlier would cause a lot of problems. Let's see. So Stan doing an outlap, Trumpets is doing an outlap. Let's have a look. As well, Wilt's going to be doing a in-lap. Kerbo coming down is doing an in-lap. Bambino in-lap. Donny is 24 seconds down from his overlap. I assume this might be an in-lap then. Push Donny until he's at the +2.5. Yeah, BR4's coming for pits. Rantis is on the yellow flags on the lap. He's invalidated. So, where are we at? Skildy, Trumpus, and Stan. Closer to the line, I'm pretty sure. We haven't covered these guys yet, so I think we'll cover them now. Would like to believe that Stan is the closest, as he's gone past Trumpus, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's just gone past Trumpus, so two of the guys we might want to keep an eye out, not far from each other here. Skildy is in the middle of the second sector, so that's one to maybe go to afterwards. I see that the Aston Martin marks retired from the session. Don't know what the hell's happened to him. There's yellow flag going into sector 1. Someone's coming to the pits back there. Right, stand lap. Oh, it looks like someone's messed up out of the pit lane. Actually, let's put telemetry on. Let's go through. Get DRS on. He's going to go with DRS. Try to get the slipstream of the guys in front of him. Interesting. Not sure it was worth the time. We'll go and watch Trumpus after this. And then possibly one of your big guys. One of the top 3-ish. Get them on some screen time for the race. For the qualifying session. Stan going through sector 2 now. Gets into second gear and just about keeps it valid. I can never tell what is and isn't an invalidation through that last corner before Castle, as Stan just wallops into the side of Castle, and I think that's effectively his lap done. I'm gonna be surprised that there's not some sort of damage there. Go down the hill, the yellow flag in sector 2, where Mercedes is just absolutely, Stan's just either taking some sort of damage or is not aborting the lap. Let's see what Trumpus can do though. He's in the same position realistically. He's going to get benefit of some slipstream, or might have before Stan broke. See what times Trumpus can whip up here. Let's go to 37, 38, 8. Puts him third. Let's see, Skildy, the last one of the tyre guide to not properly set a time anyway. That haven't already been out, that is. Donny's disqualified for driving the wrong way. How have you managed that? He got disqualified for the session for driving the wrong way. Fair enough. Each to their own, I guess. So, I mean, Donny's starting from the back. The Mercedes just letting through. Carbon is out lap. See what Skildy can pull up as a time. I believe number 15 behind of him might be Joe. Probably is Joe. It is. Skildy sets a 39.8. Joe sets a 38.5. Let's have a look at what Stel's doing. Donny, how have you managed that? The game doesn't immediately disqualify you. You're on discard. Okay, fair enough. What's Stel doing here? It looks like he might be on pace to set a quicker lap. Which gives sense. And it is a quicker lap. It's a 38.1. It's 4 tenths quicker than Joe. Staber's come back into the pits. Logan Set a 38.7 on his last lap to be 4th. Trumpus is coming in after his 30. Let's go. Let's watch Rantis. Ishmael came into the pit as well, I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's an invalidation off the first corner. Rantis goes very wide. See what Bambino's doing. What's Bambino doing for time? 38.459. Okay, so it's a pretty much 3 tenths to the dot behind Stell. Puts him in 2nd. The qualifying starting to heat up now. Let's give Ross some screen time. Or is he going to go slow and come in at the end of this lap? What's happening here? Rantis's lap's gone. Trocker, Stell going to come in. Bambino's going to come in. Joe's going to come in. See what Ross is doing here. Does it look quick? No, it doesn't. Skeldy, I assume, is coming in. Everyone else is on an outlap or in the pits. Looking down the line, who's the closest to the line? Who's the closest to the start line? Let's watch Dan again, I guess. We'll flip probably to Ishmael lap if there's a invalidation. The yellow flag is sector 3. I assume there's just a couple of guys coming into the pits. It is just a few guys coming into the pits. Let's see what Stan can do. Had his first lap invalidated. See what he can do for his second. We shouldn't be that far away from the end of the session. Maybe like four and a half minutes, maybe? Four and a half. Mitchell's retired from the session as per his qualifying ban. The yellow flags on the opposite side of the track. Through Castle. It doesn't hit Castle this time. So he's going to be able to set a proper lap. That's what happened to him last time, not actually invalidating. Just hit Castle. Going downhill now. So 108 through the corner. What time is he going to be down here? It's 14 flat. Okay. He looks like he's on for a good time. Everyone else is in the pits, but Stan, Alu, and Ishmael. So we will go to... Ishmael's all the way back there, so we'll go to Alu's half lap, and then we'll give Ishmael some screen time. Goes a hits about 200 miles an hour down the straight. Goes to puts up a time. It's a 38.5, so he's now 3rd on the grid as it stands. Ishmael dropped 8th after his decent banker lap, but he's now got to find some time in his actual lap. Let's see what Alu can do. A few guys coming back out. Staber, Joe, Rantis, Erm's coming back out as well. Give Staber some screen time in a minute. See what Alu's going to put up. It's a 38.8, which puts him just above Ishmael. As Ishmael goes 1.5 tenths quicker, I think that was. If my game's catching up. Goes 112 when he hits the corner. It looked like he backed out. Yeah, he backed out. Backed out of the lap. He's the only one on any sort of lap at the moment, so we'll stick with him. We'll stick with him, see if he can actually set a proper lap anytime soon. Otherwise he's going to be stuck with his banker lap with 2 minutes left of the session. So Racing crashed out early. Mitch had a qualifying ban. Mark crashed out, I believe, as well with 141 and didn't have a greatest to start. Donnie got disqualified for driving the wrong way. So that's where we stand right now. Everyone's on an outlap or a flying lap. Stan and Alu's just done theirs, so would assume that they might go for one more. If not, they're going into the pits and calling it a day. We'll watch Ishmael, then we'll watch probably Staber, and I think he's the closest one afterwards. Ishmael is 2 tenths quicker than his prior lap, which wouldn't get him anywhere other than 9th at the moment. Keeps his lap valid here. Goes into Castle. Breaks into third. Got sparking bits on the on Castle. Yellow flags up ahead. Oh, there's yellow flags everywhere on the track at the moment. 180 gets into 8th gear, coming into the downhill corner. Stands retired, so he's not going for another one. See what he's going to do down the hill. He is half a second quicker, and that's the first 13 I've seen through that through the second sector. Or 113 at the end of the second sector for today. So, Rantis retired as well. He figured out he doesn't have enough time to go. Going to use the slipstream of the Alfa Romeo in front of him with DRS to see if he can put up a time. Logan coming to the pits. And Ishmael sets a 38.434. That is a good lap. Staber's just invalidated it. What's Joe doing here? Coming down the final straight. Going to be his last go. He's going to do a 38.479. He hasn't beaten Ishmael. Saber's done his. What's the Ferrari coming here? Invalidated. The Alfa Romeo, Aston Martin's invalidated. Where's the Mercedes? Kobo's a half second up. He's doing a 115. Wouldn't expect him to do a lot. Move up a lot. So Logan's qualifying's finished. He's 7th. 14th. Staber's retired alongside Stan and Rantis. Yeah, you would expect the Kobo to come down the straight now and post up his time. And he's done a 39.7. It moves him up a couple of places, to be fair. Who's first? Is it BR4 or... BR4 is half a second... not half a second, quarter second down on his prior time, so he's coming into the pits as Trompus. Half a second quicker through the first two sectors, and he's going to put up a 38.288, and he's going to put him second. I'm coming down the straight now as Stell is just going to cruise. Ishmael is going to cruise. The other AlphaTauri coming down the straight, almost a half second up, and he's going to put himself 12 on a 39.2. See what Alu's doing. Alu's going 21 seconds slower. Just saw the Alpines. Denja finished on 39.990 is the last of the actual finishers. Minus Mark. Ross, 39.2. Let's see what's going on with Joe. Joe invalidated last shot. Bambino's done. So that's it. That's it. So Stell is on pole. Stell is on pole. 38.156. Next is Trompus. Trompus second is the last one on the front row. 38.288. Ishmael's going to start the second row. 38.434 alongside Bambino, who did a 495. Reading two different numbers at the same time and messed me up. Joe's going to start 5th, stands 6th. There's not a lot between 3rd and 6th, I will admit that. You go down to between Ishmael and Stan, and there's less than a 10th. You've got decently close race if you're going Staber, Trocker, Alu. Here, they're separated by less than a 10th. Just waiting on Bambino getting the pits, and that will be that. That's not the biggest of gaps. First 10 separated by under a second. Racing did his on mediums before he crashed. Bearing in mind, he is the last race winner we had in Monza after everything happened on the final lap between BR4 and Rudy. 39.7. You got a couple of guys here who probably will think they could have done better and should have done better here. Denja did a 39, almost a 140. But he's been moaning about his lack of pace all week. Now, we've got to wait for everything to load in. Formation lap, and then we go for the actual race in Azerbaijan. So someone noticed that there was rain. As for whether we start on rain, weather on perfect. Well, that's a bad idea. That's a bad mistake. Someone crashed at Castle and still had to abort his last lap. Fair enough, fair enough. I did not see that. Joe's put Captain Bottle in the chat. Okay, fair enough. Logan and having a little bit of a thing at each other here. Gonna go for the formation lap. So let's have a look at the tyre choices here, actually. So I see the greatest variation of tyre choice in my life. So you've got the top 10 on softs as F1 rules for this game anyway. Next game we'll be able to see more variation on the actual strategy because that's not a rule anymore. And then everyone up to Donny on medium tyres with Donny on softs. If I'm going for strategy here, don't know about how much these guys setups wear their tyres, but I wouldn't be going with the game, that's for sure. I think I'd be going a one-stop, soft to medium. It's definitely doable. Safety cars probably mean that this is not a one-stop. Safety cars probably make it a two-stop, if there is to be any. Might get a pleasant surprise and not have any for once, but I wouldn't bet on that. So we've got looking for drivers things on drivers championships and everything regarding that. So Stel currently sat top of the championship on 30 points, and then you've got Joe on 28. So the two guys at the top of the championship at the moment, Stel and Joe, first and fifth. I believe we've got Staber, Alu and Racing all on 25 following. So over the first couple of races, there's still a lot to be. It's just a more of a feeling out process by the looks of it when you go down the standings. People trying to figure out who they can and can't race with, where they deserve to be on the grid. Constructors seems to be a little bit wider. There's about 25 points the gap between Ferrari and Red Bull. If it ends like this, it'll only get bigger. But we've now got 26 laps between now and the end of the race. Don't put lap data on. I think everything's sorted. So Stel and Trompers take the front row of the grid. We got them lining up nicely. The Haas and the AlphaTauri, Ishmael and Bambino, 4 and 3 respectively. Then you've got Joe, Stan, couple of big hitters there you would see in the middle of the pack. Can I get a good camera angle, please? So 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, away we go here in Azerbaijan. Let's see who's got the best start. Oh, Trompers are sliding off the start into turn 1. The Haas has got incredibly deep into the corner. It looks like there's a few people who've made a mistake on turn 1, but nobody's actually been taken out. Everyone looks to have survived turn 1. The yellow flag immediately. Does actually look like everyone survived though. Stel got such a great start. And you cannot say the same for... Oh, and that's Ishmael in a wall. Oh, it looked like he parked in front of a wall. He may or may not have just saved it. But that's not a good start. Here we go. We're going to get 2 wide at least. Are we going to get 3? No, we're not. But it looks like we're going to get 2 wide between Alu and Stan. These two come down the straight. Looks like these two are going to fight. And there's two behind him. Alfa Romeo just hit it into the back of Alu. That's not a bad start. And as soon as I say that, the virtual safety car appears. Looks like Racing, after his win in Monza, it's without a front wing here. Ishmael, let's see him and Scaldy back here. What's his front wing looking like? Might have been saved? Yeah, I think his front wing got saved. That's fair enough. Well played. Almost. So it looked like he prevented near disaster there, Ishmael. And we go green again. Here we go. Joe 4/10 to a second off of Bambino in the fight for third. Going down the grid, you've got a... Oh my god! Even look at that. Who has... Stan has hit a wall. Stan has hit a wall. He's only lost his front wing. And he's very, very lucky to only have lost his front wing. That looks like he got a little too much turning in on the final couple of corners here. And we got Trucker on Alu. And there's a spin here as well. Alu and Trucker having a little bit of a fight. Trucker gets into the side of Alu and has spun around. And it's going to affect Logan's race quite a lot. Don't know if he's going to get damage from that. Everyone is all over the place. Mitchell's got a pit. Racing's got a pit. Denja's got a pit. Stan and Ross have pit as well. These two have looked to have their own collisions. Stan was going well and looked like he just overturned a error I've been making quite a lot this week. Into the final corner of the race. Everyone goes into their pits. No one DNF'd through that, surprisingly. Still got all 20 drivers. Looks like Joe has just kind of dropped back, sorted off the pace. Bambino, who is still keeping up with Trumpus, who is the current Tier 5 champion anyway. These three going to fight. Alu, Rantis, and BR4. Looks like Rantis got in front. Yeah, Rantis has got in front. He's got a decent gap anyway. It looks like Alu has just dropped off. These two in front of him are going to fight. Going to have BR4 versus Rantis down the straight here. Slipstream should be good for BR4 to make a move. Or just outright pace. There's that as well. BR4 is going to make that move. He's going to be able to hold the position as well. Alu's gone into the pits. He might have damage. There's a few battles here, actually. We've got not looking too bad. A couple of guys having a pit already. A couple of guys that haven't pitted have had spins. It looked like that was a very chaotic that one. I've got an awful camera angle here. As Rantis and BR4 go at it. BR4 doing well on the medium tyres to hold Rantis off. Bambino on the back of Trumpus as well. Rantis trying to make something work down a straight soon enough. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to push. He's going to have to sit behind him through the castle section now. Yeah, he's going to lose time as he goes wide through the castle section and a little bit squirrely on the end of it. Looks like he's lost quite a decent amount of time to BR4 through that section. BR4 looks like he's got a better corner and a better grip on those medium tyres by the looks of it. Oh, it looked like that until he went into the downhill corner and Rantis has got everything back. So let's see Bambino. The DRS is about to come in, so Bambino and Trumpus, this should not be the hardest of overtakes. Here we go, DRS on, slipstream, and Bambino to the outside, and does get the move done before turn 1. Gonna have to watch it though, because they fight back into turn 3 with the DRS. You got Rantis and BR4 going at it. Rantis with the DRS is gonna make that move into turn 1. Logan get marked by the looks of it as well. Go down the grid, you got people, Jacobo going very wide. Into turn 1, it's going to open the door for Donny. See if Donny's going to be able to make anything work down the straight here. Mitchell setting the fastest lap of the race so far. It look like a lot of things. Oh, here we go, too wide. Donny to the outside. Interesting move, but he's going to get the move done. And he's going to take the position off Sokobo. Wilt and on the back of Logan. These three are trying to form a little bit of a train. Going up the grid, you've got BR4 and Rantis still going at it. Rantis has been able to hold off BR4's fight back from this lap anyway. Seem to be going back and forth. You've got Trompus and Bambino flying at each other. BR4 and Rantis go at it again. Zakovo picked up 3 seconds. BR4 gets the move done into the downhill corner. Rantis almost went a bit wide. On the back of Mark, as he's just setting himself in a nice rhythm at the moment. We'll watch Trompus first. These two going down the straight with DRS. Trompus looking for a move to the inside. And he does get the move to the inside. Someone's coming to the pit behind him. Joe's coming to the pit. Looks like maybe a little bit deep, but it's not enough. Rantis and BR4 going at it again. As Rantis gets him into turn 1. Going down the grid, and Mark is still right behind Logan. Here we go again between BR4 and Rantis. These two go alongside of each other. Get a better camera angle by watching the guy behind. BR4's going to get him here. Does. Moves up into 5th. Bambino and Staber were almost identical times away from each other, the guy in front. Alu and Ross going at it, by the looks of it. These two looking down the grid. These two actually have the closest time, so we'll go watch these two. Looks like the Mercedes in front's going to hold both of them back. Scaldy on the back of his teammate. I assume there's just Ishmael getting trying to get onto the back of Donny maybe. Let's have a look at going on here. Hits a wall on the outside of that turn downhill. Doesn't look like it's caused too much damage though. Couple of guys getting close behind. I'm going to have to keep an eye. Oh, there's a spin! There's a spin! Mark Span! Marcus Span on the second to last corner of the lap. We've got a virtual safety car. And Bambino and Staber are going to be huge beneficiaries of this. The Staber is going to need to come in for a new front wing. It looks like Bambino, so these two must have had a little bit of a collision. Stan's got to drive through for speeding under virtual safety car. The last corner, the very, very last corner of the entire lap. And Mark has brought out a virtual safety car as a response. Looking down the grid, obviously, there's trying to figure out where the best place to be on this virtual safety car ending. Think it might have to be with Staber here on Bambino. These two look like they had a little bit of a collision and both had to come in for front wings. Going to drop them back a little bit. Medians from lap 6 probably do go to the end though. Might have a slight problem on the tyres by the last couple of laps, but it's definitely doable. Everyone just, well, staying around the same gap. The DRS is enabled, that means we're going green. Looks like Staber isn't going to be able to do anything going into Castle though. Bad time for it to go green for Staber. He tries to make a move on Bambino. Everyone else down the grid, no one else in DRS. Absolutely no one else in DRS. Alu's just jumped inside of Mitchell DRS now, going down the hill. It's Bambino and Staber. Staber within half a second. A few guys, Skeldy's now in the DRS of Donny. Alu's looking to get Mitchell. And Staber's going to use DRS here to try and get past Bambino. Here we go. Trompus is coming to the pits, so he's got out to medium tyres here. BR4 probably stays out on his mediums. Yep. Here we go. These two look like the Aston Martin to the inside. Oh, and Bambino might have hit the brakes a little bit late and hit into the back of Staber there. Looks like he hasn't got any damage with it though. Donny's coming to pit. Allows a few people to jump up. Jacobo with Trompus in front of him. DRS. Those tyres might make sure that Trompus stays ahead though. Does. Oh, and Jacobo almost spun. He saved it, but he almost spun on the corner. Out of turn 3, almost hit a wall, almost definitely had a safety car. Looks like Trompus on the back of Scaldy now. Scaldy just dropped off the back of him. Staber on the back of Jacobo, and Barbino staying within DRS as well. Looking down the grid, you've got Ross. Alu got past Mitchell. Ross is in the DRS of Mitchell now. Wouldn't expect too long before DRS comes into play back there. Even if they wait to DRS, here we go. Staber on Jacobo. Going into the downhill corner. Staber wisely backs out. Mitchell gets 3 seconds for track limits. Very surprised we don't have a single DNF. It looks like these three are going to form a bit of a train here. Stell comes into pit. As only one's now on soft, and Mark and Stan after their spins in prior laps. Bambino off the pace now. It's Staber with DRS. Going to try and make a move on Jacobo. And he gets that move done very early. Going to take it. And Trompus gets past Scaldy in the same measure. Rantis setting the fastest lap. Bambino comes into pit. Don't know, like Scaldy. Is Scaldy going to be able to put up much of a fight? Back and someone's in the wall! Someone's in a wall! Jacobo's in a wall. He's lost his front wing. They tried to find out who it was because they couldn't actually tell the colour from away back there. Jacobo's in a wall. We've got another virtual safety car. Looks like Bambino's not... Oh, well. Damage is already done on the pit stop for Bambino. We've got another virtual safety car. I think that's virtual safety car number 2 or number 3. I think it's number 3. We had one with Stan. I think we had one with Mark. Got one now on the Jacobo crash. Stan comes into the pits to go onto the mediums that he will probably take to the end unless there's a late safety car. Looking as to where the virtual safety car goes green, where we should be. I think we might be on the right place. We're going to get DRS immediately, I think, through this one where virtual safety car goes green. Scaldy tries to close up as much as he can with the delta on Trompus. Denja gets a drive-through for speeding under the virtual safety car. We're going green. Here we go with DRS. Stell's going to get DRS. Does Stell have DRS? No, I can't see the wing of that Red Bull. Scaldy does definitely have DRS, but he's not going to make anything work with it. Logan on Rantis. And Logan does make the move well before turn 1. Going to go with DRS all the way down to turn 1 and keep the position as well. We might see a fight back coming from Rantis in the next lap, as he's been fighting back with BR4 all race up until the last couple of virtual safety cars. Jacobo comes into pit. Mitchell lost out on his place to Donny during that lap. Rantis is too far back to make the DRS work into turn 3. So we got Stell half a second behind BR4 also yet to pit. Maybe worthwhile waiting for another virtual safety car at some point. Looks like Rantis and Logan's going to continue on their little, well, how close they are, shall I say. It's not really a battle yet. Not really got into any point where they can overtake. Staber on Scaldy as we go through into the corner before the downhill section of the track. And Staber's not able to catch up to Skeldy enough to make something work, but you would expect it to be the case with DRS coming up. You'd also be expecting that Stell on fresh tyres is going to be able to completely blast past here, especially with the use of DRS, which he's going to get. It looks like Trumpers is going to get it as well and maybe be able to push on against him. Stell definitely gets past. Skeldy gets overtaken by Staber at the same time. It looks like Trumpers did not have enough ground to make a move stick. Skeldy is a bit further back on Staber now, half a second and dropping. Rantis still within half a second of Logan. Donny and Ross going at it. Looks like Donny got the position off of Ross into turn 1. Rantis and Logan, sorry. Rantis still not able to make a fight back through turn 3. Just holding off at this point. Ross about 0.3 of a second back on Donny as well in 12th and 13th. Let's have a look toward the front here. And dropped off the back of Stell, who is rapidly closing into BR4 in front of him. It looks like it might be Stell's race here. It has done for the first 10 laps anyway. It's within half a second now as they come down the downhills part of the track into the beginning of Sector 3. And here you would expect Stell to use DRS to very good advantage. Should definitely get first position after this straight. Gets around the final corner without doing a mark or a stand. We've got 2 sets of battles going on here. Stell down the outside has got BR4, and in the background you see Trumpus getting past to the inside, as we've got McLaren 2-3 as it stands. These two seem to be making up for lost time, so to speak, after their Bahrain mishap. BR4 gets DRS straight back, not able to close in anywhere near enough to Stell to make anything work. Looking down the grid, everyone seems to be spacing out a little bit. We still, 11 laps into this race, have all 20 drivers, which I can very safely say is a surprise. And he's got a couple of guys coming down the back straight there. BR4 now out of DRS range on Stell, and his teammate is now well in DRS range, and BR4's hit the side of Castle. He's definitely at the side of Castle, and now he's holding up Herb as well. That is unfortunate. That is definitely wing damage. Clips the side of the corner in Castle. He's going to let through, but he's not going to do the same for Staber, who hits the back end. BR4's crashed into the wall. I'm not sure if that's because the collision sent him forward, but he's now got no front wing at all. And we've got another virtual safety car. Jesus Christ, that's 4. We've got 4 virtual safety cars. BR4 has no front wing. I'm not sure if it's Staber hitting the back of BR4, late braking, causing that or not. I don't know if Staber also has damage. By the looks of it, he does. That was not very good. As Staber and BR4 go past each other, Staber gets 5 seconds for speeding into the pit lane, trying to overtake BR4. Skeldy is somehow still in 4th. Everyone seems to be routinely crashing here. They don't see... You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Honestly, the amount of people I've seen crash in this race, oh, we're going green again, and not actually DNF might be a new record. We might have to start the spin counter again. And make its triumphant return from when we had it in Zandvoort last season. Going into the chicane now, we've got Rantis still on the back of Logan, who hasn't been able to clear the second. We've got BR4 and Staber still going at it after whatever happened between these two, causing a crash into the downhill section of the track. Looking down the list, we've got a few people in DRS range. It looks like BR4 got away with everything because he's not going to lose an awful lot of time. We had a spin counter in Zandvoort which hit 22 for the session last season, but we haven't used it since. So I haven't really seen an appropriate use for it, but I think we might have another appropriate use for it. It looks like we're going, that sky got it very dark very quickly as Joe tries to use DRS to his advantage on Skelder here. He looked to the outside but changed his mind, goes to the inside and gets the move done. Skelder tries to look for it back but doesn't get it. We might have rain. We might have, I know Bambino said in the Discord that we have rain on the forecast. It looks like we might actually have rain that impacts the race. Either that or we're just going to be incredibly overcast for the next God knows how many laps. Looks like Skeldy was not able to make DRS work in trying to catch him. Mantis does this, unfortunately suffering the same with Logan in front. Looks like Staber and BR4 in a little bit of a train now, headed by Ross. These two should be able to make quick work of Ross. And, well, I say quick work, they've got to go the other side of the castle section before they try something, I'm pretty sure. Logan now on the back of Skeldy. Well, this was interesting considering in Monza, the yellow flag in Sector 1, who's caused it? Jacobo or Mitchell? No, that's Jacobo. That's Jacobo in the wall again. Someone's clipped! Someone clipped the side of Castle there. It looks like Staber's hit the side of Castle. Denja's got past Jacobo at the back there after Jacobo's spin. Does Staber has any more damage again? Because it looks like he's having a hard time driving here. Looks like BR4 looking for any window of opportunity he can get. But we've started, there it is. There's the start, the raindrops. Shouldn't be too long before we end up getting differences in tyre strategy. Let's just say that as Joe and go against each other into turn 1. Probably team orders just to let him past. Not going to give up DRS or anything like that. Just going to take it past. And Staber and Ross going at it now. Yellow flag in Sector 3. As BR4 spun. BR4 has clipped him. It looked like that. I don't know if there's enough space on the inside there. But it looked very similar to the Logan Alupalu one earlier on in the race. Where the guy on the inside sends the move. And he doesn't quite get it to work because he hits the inside of the guy in front of him. That was... wow. That's unfortunate for BR4, who's lost quite a lot of ground now as Staber and Ross go. So that's Logan going past Skeldy. Yellow flag in Sector 2. Rantis has spun. Rantis has spun on the final corner before Castle, which is interesting. The Cobra is now last. And Logan now goes after How long before we see this track become unbearable for the slick tyres? That's the real question, because now the rain's going to add a whole different dimension to it. Logan is now within 0.2 of a second on You should see that, provided no mistakes happen, this should be a rather easy overtake. Would also like a decent camera angle for this overtake. Here we go. Look to the to cover off the outside as Logan goes to the inside and does get the move done. And looks like Skeldy's going to try, and he backs off. It looked like he didn't have enough. Didn't cover enough ground to make the move work. So we got these three now in a. Did gets a little bit shifty on the. A little bit of front wing, maybe. I know there's sparks on pretty much everyone's castle at this point because they've all hit the side of it, but you might be right. I'm pretty sure we can see it if we go around, if we see something on the next go around, maybe? No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it is. See, Ishmael is 5 seconds off the back of here, as Logan's trying to now chase down Joe. Let's have a look. We'll stay on Scaldy's point of view through Castle. I know the spark's there, but I don't see a bit of front wing. No idea. It looks like everyone's out of DRS now, by the way. Mark's gone into pit. Did he chance it? Did he go into intermediates? He does chance it. Okay, so this could get interesting quickly. Has he gone on them too quickly? Or is he just going to have a huge advantage over everyone else in the coming laps? Not a proper safety car yet. The yellow flag in sector 1. Is that Mark? It is Mark. Well, looks like he jumped the gun when it came to going on to those intermediates, but he had to roll the dice. Let's have a look at Staber. Staber and Rantis. Is Staber close enough with DRS? Time's ticking down. Is he close enough? He's going for the move to the outside, and he is close enough, and he does get the move done before turn 1. And Staber takes the final point slot at the moment. Everyone's going to have to come in for a pit stop sooner or later. There's no way that this isn't going to intermediates anytime soon. Looks like BR4 is going to be the next one to chance it. BR4 is the next one to chance it, lads. And here we go, turn 3. We're going too wide. We're going too wide. It looks like Bambino and Ross might have been a slight bit of contact, but nothing too malicious. So Bambino gets on through. Few guys back here now are getting the benefit of DRS, I reckon. But nobody at the front. Nobody at the front is in reasonable range of anybody, by that matter. So Staber will eventually get Donny, and we're going to get team orders, I reckon, for these two. Yep. As Staber goes on through, Donny lets him through. And Rantis is now on the back of Donny, as Staber just looks and push on, maybe get something to work. Stan and Denja going at it at the back there. Might have a decent battle, maybe, unless Stan's just going to blow Denja away here. But with DRS, racetrack probably starting to get a bit slippy. We should see a move here between Donny and Rantis as Staber gets back into the DRS of Alu. Here we go, DRS, Rantis on Donny, Rantis to the inside, and they're going to go too wide into turn 1. This isn't gone well at all race, but these two make it work. It looks like they're going to go too wide into turn 2 as well. These two continue to go side by side, but Donny finally gets back in front. Who's going to get DRS here? It looks like Rantis got DRS, as Rantis is just going to pull away now, as Rantis gets into 10th. Staber right on the back of Alu as well, as we focus on the Aston Martin at the moment. Staber's sensible enough to not try and send a move on his compatriot. Into the castle section anyway, just before the castle section. Sector 2 doesn't usually provide the greatest overtaking spots, let's just say that, and BR4 has had to pit again. Something might have gone wrong when it comes to going on those intermediate tyres. Going free, a little bit of a train here, all the way from down to Staber. Looks like Ikobo and BR4 both going on to Inters. Probably another roll of the dice. Especially for Zakobo, considering BR4 was on Inters before, so something must have gone wrong in his laps. Staber within a 10th now, as he tries to make some sort of move on Alu work. Here we go, both going to get DRS. Who's got a bit of pace? It looks like down the straight. Erm's gone into the pits. It looks like down the straight, Staber might have him. They're going to go too wide into turn 1. And they both have it. Staber gets very very shaky out of the first corner. Both going to go too wide into turn 2. Who's got DRS? They both got DRS because of Ishmael in front of him. He's gone on to the intermediates, and it looked like Staber's got in front of Alu this time. Yep, Staber has got in front of Alu as he takes 7th and almost spins. Just about catches the car as Rantis and Donny here going at it once again. Donny gets past as Rantis did not look like he was comfortable through that corner. Bambino on the back of Rantis now. We've got more and more people taking a look to the intermediate tyres. Logan now within a decent time of Rantis lets Bambino through. Oh no, never mind, he's not letting him through. They're going to go too wide into Castle. What is going on here? There you go. Oh, and Bambino's hit the wall! Bambino's hit the wall! Oh no, it's Rantis that hits the wall actually. It looked like Bambino, but it's Rantis that's hit. That was unfortunate. Both the horses having a bit of a miscommunication by the looks of it through the Castle section. Both therefore making mistakes. It looked like Rantis definitely hit the wall. That's for sure. It looked like he'd lost a bit of his front wing as well. He might just take the time now to go and put on those intermediate tyres. Who's coming in? Staber and Ishmael going at it. And neither of them are coming in. It looked like Staber with DRS is just going to make it work. Alu's going to catch up to the back of these two as these two fight, and he's got DRS. Rantis 7/10 off his teammate. Logan now within a 10th and a half and looks to make a move into turn 3. And there's collision. There's a virtual safety car again. Logan got in front, so he's going to keep the position. Well, that's quite fortunate. Who has caught the virtual safety car? Oh, there's double stacking Haas. It looks like they both hit the wall then. Looks like they both hit the wall. Racing's come in. Can't tell whether or not his front wings was dead. As for people who crashed, no, why is Racing gone on to soft? That's a big call. Staber's just got to drive through. Everyone who should be pitting, Staber and Ishmael gets drive through actually. Everyone who should start pitting all onto the intermediate tyres. I know that was an English sentence, but oh well. And it looks like we've gone green again since that point. Alu about 0.4 of a second back. Gonna be the only one with DRS. Oh, and Joe on Logan. Those two continue their fight. It looked like Ishmael went a little bit wide into that corner. Might be struggling. You can see the track getting wear and wear. And Jacobo has retired. We actually have a retirement. That is unfortunate. The yellow flag in sector 3. Estelle, Trompus, Logan and Joe are going to take full advantage of this and take their time to pit onto these intermediate tyres. Staber and Scalesy stay out, which I don't see the point. Maybe I'd be wrong. Alu's gone on to full wets. Are they going to make that bad in the next 6 laps? This is an intermediate track, I think, right now. Certain to become an intermediate track, anyway. Everyone else, so we've got the yellow flag and Stan gone. As I was about to say, Stan's on mediums. And we've got a safety car. There we go. It only took 20 laps and 5 virtual safety cars, but we finally have one. 2 DNFs, a couple of guys coming into pit now. The track's going to get very wet in the next 2 laps. Those intermediate tyres are going to come into their strong point, I think, by the time the safety car's finished. I also think Staber is not going to regret, well, he's going to regret not pitting, but he's also going to regret crashing into Castle here. He said, look, Oh no! Has Joe got damage from that? I think he might. I don't know if it's just lime green or something, but that looked like his Staber's car hadn't actually ghosted. He just walloped it. Oh, he definitely got damaged now. He definitely got damaged now. Breaks and slides into the wall, into the downhill section, and we've got 3 retirements. Staber, Spinning, and Castle. Not sure what happened to Stan, considering I'm still trying to figure out what else happened to everyone else. So, everyone's going to be able to catch up. I don't know who has and hasn't been lapped. It looks like Scaldy has come into pits, which is probably the smartest decision he's made all day. I probably would have done it earlier if I was to be honest with you, but going on the intermediates. Logan, Joe just going to take his position because they were a thing. Ishmael with no front wing just about has a tyre left. Gets into the pit to, I assume, get his front wing changed, and at the same time go on intermediate tyres. Donnie and go on through. I like how it's got the shadows of the front wing, but it doesn't actually exist. Racing's finally taken the hint to come off soft. And every single person from now, up 5 seconds for Rantis after he collides with an already lapped car. Not sure if he's coming in, might have damage. But, safety car comes out, came out lap 21, probably going to wait till lap 23 to go. Maybe a little bit later. We're going to wet. We're going to intermediates, but we're not going to get an awful lot of racing on these intermediates at all. Mark's not going to get the chance to unlap himself, so that's the end of his race. BR4, about 57 seconds back off of Rantis, who is now pitted. See that BR4 is ever so slightly in front of that safety car, so he's going to get to catch up with everyone. As for what we have, so BR4's got a drive-through penalty for falling too far back. That's just bullying a guy, isn't it? Okay. BR4 just retired. I don't blame him. That was just unnecessary from the game. A couple of guys waited too long to go onto the intermediate tire and paid the price, as you can see. 4 DNFs. We've got our first safety car. We've had 5 virtual safety cars. And I guess this safety car restart always brings chaos. I don't care what race it is and what tier it is, it always brings chaos because somebody, no matter who, just messes it up. Whether case in point being Mexico from Tier 3 last season, where Donnie and Jacobo screwed up entirely, throwing away their respective chances of winning. Under the safety car restarts, both were in the rain, I'm pretty sure as well. So here we got. So with what 4-ish laps of the race left, this is how we stand. We've got Stell currently leading the race, Trompus in second, trying to carry that McLaren at the moment. Then you've got Logan in third, Scaldy in fourth. Where Scaldy hasn't lost a lot of time going on to the intermediates. He got away with it. Probably still should have picked under the virtual safety car, but each to their own. Been in far better position than he currently is. I hope nobody thinks that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Somebody will. Either that or somebody behind him's going to think it's a sprint and just absolutely murder somebody. One of the two. The cold tyres might play huge amount into this. We're still going to go one lap more because I still see a Haas all the way back there that hasn't been lapped. Mark has cut his deficit by 1.5 minutes. He comes down to about 2 minutes. He's been lapped. The two Ferraris are having a go at it. I mean, he's not making a dent into the current lead that the Red Bulls are going to be growing. It's almost like the reverse of real life. Alfa Romeo finally, well, not finally, because they have a race win last week, and they're going to get, by the looks of it, unless there's a mistake, good shot at the podium anyway. AlphaTauri looks like they might be able to build some points up. Still got some big hitters currently sitting in and around the points mark, but not actually doing a lot. But Donny's in 5th. Scales's in 4th. Two guys you probably wouldn't have expected to see so far up. Donny's been having a good race. Well, here and there he's been having a good race. Scalesy's been probably blessed by a safety car immediately after that virtual safety car, but Rantis has pitted. So we're going to be here for quite a while, I think. Might end up, well, might be waiting on Denja actually, and then we might just go. I don't actually know at this point. The safety car does. Racing has 5 seconds for a collision with Mitchell. We look at penalties at this point, actually. So, penalties stand at 3 seconds for Ishmael, 3 seconds for Mitchell, 5 for Racing, and a drive-through for Rantis. Denja looks like he's caught up, or catching up to the back of everyone. But the safety car can go one more. If it does decide to stay out for Rantis, it can go one more. But Rantis is in a very horrible position where he might just get disqualified at this rate. Looks like we are not going one more. It's just let Denja catch up, and instead the Rantis is too far back. So, here we go. Here we go. We're going on the restart. Let's see what chaos this can produce in the wet. On intermediate tyres. Everyone has similar stature on their tyres at the moment. So it will just be a case of who has the most pace, who catches who's sleeping. TCS off. Don't no idea. Here we go. It looks like Stell's got away. Stell has got away, but it doesn't look like Trompus was paying a lot. Actually, it looks like they're both closing in. And they're going to go too wide here. The scale has a few guys going too wide behind them, actually. And Racing's retired. It looks like Donny has been overtaken by both the Ferraris. Oh, Ross has hit a wall. Ross hit the wall on the edge of turn 2. And Joe going at it now. Donny in behind him. We've got 5 DNFs now, a drive-through, so it's effectively 6, and a lapped car, so it's effectively 7. A couple of guys going behind. Someone got a little bit all out of shapes back there, beside Alu. Looks like Ishmael and Bambino going to go at it. They are going to go at it, but it looks like... Are we going too wide through here? No, we're not. I think that might be wise. It looks like Mitch on the back of Ishmael might be pushing for something. Or not. I completely forgot Mark was lapped, so that almost gave me a heart attack. Alu and Donny going, having a little bit of battle, which sees Alu go past. Joe and Scalesy on the back, on their battle now, within a quarter of a second. See if anything's going to happen into the downhill part of the track. Someone late break, maybe? Nope. Yep. Scaldy's hit a wall. Scaldy's hit a wall. Scaldy's going to drop back a couple of positions here. He's going to lose out to Alu as well. Oh, and these two are going to hit each other. I don't know if it's a miracle neither of them have managed to spin there, actually. Don't know what the extent of damage is. It looks like Scaldy got damage to the outside of his car. Denja's got a Mitchell. These two are going to go at it. There's a flying front wing somewhere. Denja and Mitchell are fighting. We got Donny and... Oh, it's 3 or 4 guys down the straight now. We actually might go forward. Oh, no, it's 2 sets of 2. Oh! Oh, the other... Oh, Ishmael retired. His front wing's gone. After a collision with Donny. And that first corner has been wreaking havoc all day where they go too wide. And to the inside, it looks like Scaldy's hit the wall. Scaldy's hit the wall in turn 2, and his front wing's gone. And the AlphaTauris have just had an absolute nightmarish couple of corners. That is incredibly unfortunate. Too wide into turn 1. I'm not sure if there was enough space left. But it's been the case all day where it's been right on the edge of whether or not space has been left. And someone's been spun out as a result. It's been ever so prevalent at turn 1. Logan's in second now. He's trying to his best to get onto the back of Stell with 1 lap to go. And Joe is right on the back of Trumpets here. Is he going to stay behind and bide his time? Or is he... Yeah, he's going to bide his time for now. We're going to get a late break? We're going to get a Scaldy-esque mistake? Nope, we're not. It looks like Bambino's the only one that's actually close to somebody. These two fighting for the final podium slot. About 6 attempts between them. You're going to get Slipstream in a minute. Depends on how powerful that is. See if we get a move from Joe. Looks like it's quite powerful, actually. I did for a minute. And I'm not too surprised that Trumpus is trying to break it. He doesn't do it effectively enough, though. Just about dragged him into turn 1 in front. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. And it looks like Scaldy with his no front wing. And Mitchell with his no front wing have had an awful time of this. Bambino's not that far off of Donny now. After the Donny's collision with Ishmael in turn 1. A couple of guys about half a second off as we go into lap 26. We're going to the second sector of lap 26. This is where Stell is right now. Stell is still more than a second ahead. DRS won't actually play any part because it's in the middle of the rain. We have had 6 DNFs, finishing with 14, even though one's got a drive through. We're probably going to finish with 13 and 1 a lap back. Logan has broke that now. Vantage gets 5 seconds, which is utterly pointless. He's going to serve his drive through to make sure he doesn't get disqualified. Going through the final couple of corners now. Into sector 3 for the final time. And Logan and Stell are within a second of each other. We're going towards the real last part of the lap. The yellow flag in sector 2. And it looks like it's one of the Alpines that are maybe squashed their car into a wall a little bit. Bambino about 3 attempts back. There's about 3/4 of a second here. Down the straight for the final time. Stell breaking the toe. And it's Stell that's going to win in Azerbaijan by less than a second to Logan, who comes second. And then Trumpus is going to take your final podium spot. As Joe was not able to close in enough to take it off him. He's going to have 4th and Erm's going to take 5th. Alu got 6th, and all-round good day for the Red Bulls and the constructors. The Ferrari not going to get anywhere near as much points. Donny's going to take 7th. Bambino's going to take 8th. Ross is going to take 9th over Denja in 10th, who's going to take the final points. And Denja My God, Denja has points. No, sorry. Denja has a point. Mitchell's going to take 11th. Scalzy's going to come round for the final time. Going to take 12th. Rantis is going to be the final one to actually finish on the lead lap. Mark's already finished his race. So we just finish this by watching Rantis drive with no front wing to the line one last time. And there you go, that's the end of your race. That was actually a pretty eventful race. Oh then, let's see Denja ran out of fuel. Denja ran out of fuel in the most Denja way possible. Let's see if we can get him for... Who's third Trumpus? Stell say they wasn't using battery. Well then, that was quite an eventful. That was a quite eventful race, I'm not gonna lie. Who's put that? Stell. I'm pretty sure Stell has the party already. Does Stell have the party already? Let's have a look. Well, when PlayStation actually loads. Trumpus. Stell. Logan's already been added. I can't add people. Only one stop. Fair enough. Fair enough. Logan joined. Somebody can't join because of their settings.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me make sure this nonsense is on before we start. Actually, just ask them, can they hear me?
Can you hear Logan? I have to restart the stream for this. Because it didn't actually give me the option this time, because I didn't start in the party as per.
Oh.
So it didn't actually give me the option, though I don't know if it works. Might have to restart the stream. Let's have a look. Is this working? So I'm not getting any answers from stream chat, so...
Here, I'll go into the stream and see if I can hear myself.
Alright. If not, I'm going to have to reset the stream.
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
Can I be heard? Is this going to be...
If not, I'm going to have to reset the stream. Tier 1. Tier 1.
Can I be heard? Yep, I can be heard.
You can be heard, right. I'm pretty sure that means Stell would be able to get heard as well. You know what, let's get Denja in. Fuck it. Might as well just...
No!
Denja finally had a point!
Denja killed Mitchell with no front wing on the first lap. He was racing like he had a front wing and he took out like 2 people.
He still did get a point, and I don't think Denja's going to get a point for the rest of the season, so...
I got podium on my worst track, that's... And I spun.
Alright then, if we're... Alright, let's do this then, just this, these two. Logan came second, so... Logan, talk us through your race.
Quali, I did a horrific first lap because I forgot to put ERS on because Erm was sitting so close behind me that I was more focused on that. Kind of forgot. So second lap we improved a lot, and then went for the third lap and we spun an out lap and broke my wing. So that was that. P8 qualified, something like that. Anyway, had alright pace at the start of the race. Was kind of holding ground, and then when I start making some moves, Alu spun me. Arguably my fault because it did come from quite far back, but he did just turn in on me. But then after that, I just kind of came back. There was VSC, which I pitted under, that helped a lot. That brought me back into the race with Joe, I think. And then I was kind of catching him, and we worked our way through the field. The rain started, and I felt quite confident. I had a lot of pace. I caught Joe. I didn't quite did I?
So
No, I didn't overtake him. I didn't overtake Joe, and then he broke his wing at turn 15 under the safety car, so he had to pit, and I was up to P3. Got a good restart, saw when Stell went, and round outside Trumpus, and then I was trying my best to catch Stell to see if I could give him a run, but unfortunately not. But you know, I'll take second at my worst track. So
when you have a race that is full of virtual safety car and a safety car right at the end, what's the insight to that? What's the going through the head strategy wise? What are you thinking about?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't really thinking much of it. The first safety car obviously was big because I could pit under it. The rest of them were just kind of minor. Almost got drive-through twice. That was not nice. I think it was within like a tenth of my delta or something. And then the last safety car, it closed me up to Trumpus. I thought I might have a go at him to potentially put it in second, but I wasn't sure how my pace in the white would be. Luckily, my pace in the white was actually alright, and we did manage to get it done, but it was just overall quite... The safety cars didn't really mean much to me.
Fair enough. And obviously, it's your first proper points of the season.
It was my first points of the season.
Where do you go from here? Where's the idea going for the rest of the season?
Depends what track's next. It is...
Austria's next.
Find a full set for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that may be an idea. Austria, if we can race there. Don't know how that'll go. Imola, Stell, I'm going to beat you at Imola. I'm not having it any other way.
We'll see about it.
Canada, I'm having you. Saudi Arabia, I'm
We'll see
having you.
about that.
Singapore, I'm having it. So, I mean, obviously, Stell's got what now? A 37-point lead over me. So, Harm brought it back last season. I'm going to do the same.
Playing role of the underdog. Fair enough. Well, I think it's only fair that we interview Stell now so you have a chance to retaliate to that. Talk us through your race, Stell.
I mean, the qualifying was okay. I mean, I got pole. I could do way faster lap, but somebody crashed in the castle. I think it was Big Bambino or something. So I had to abort the lap, my final one, but still got the pole. And then the race was, I don't know, was a little boring. I didn't have many battles. And honestly, I never got threatened for anybody until the last laps from Tracker, but I honestly wasn't pushing. I was early on the brakes. I didn't want to make any mistakes, broke a wing or something. So I would say that it was pretty, I was holding on to it. Everything went according to the plan.
Fair enough. Obviously, when you're in front like you were today, is the idea just drive as safe as possible and while trying to keep as much speed, or is it just a case of just go out and win it early?
I mean, when I was on the mediums and it started raining, I could see like the gap opening without even trying too much, so I was pretty comfortable over there. But then I never did any uh, wet practice, so I didn't know if my setup is good in the rain and stuff like that. So I had to be a little cautious. I saw Tracker like fighting with who was it? Was it
Trumpus.
Trumpus? Yes. And I opened a gap of like 1 or 2 seconds, something like that. So I knew that I was pretty comfortable in there. I wasn't pushing. I just wanted to not make any mistakes because I knew that if I even break a little bit my front wing, Tracker would just pass through.
Fair enough. And obviously, you've had an incredible start to the season. Started to build a bit of a gap for you.
A lot of practice.
Yeah, building a gap for yourself. So, is it too too early to be optimistic for the title, or you're just playing it by week?
I mean, I'm going week by week, but I still have it in the back of my head. Like I think about it, and what I learned from previous seasons is that I just have to be consistent, and that's my goal. Like it's not just winning races. I mean, if I see an opportunity, I'll take it. But even if you look back to the previous race in Monza, I just wanted to finish the race and get the best out of it, because I think that if you just push too much and like try to do very risky things, you're gonna lose a lot more at the end of the season. So that's my goal, like go week by week, get the best out of every track, and we'll see.
You want to say anything to Logan about him trying to see if he's got a bunch of tracks over you?
I just wish he gets a full-time seat. I don't even know why he didn't ask one at the beginning. I mean, I kind of know, but I don't agree with it. I just want it to be in every race. I just want to beat him fair and square.
Fair enough. I think we'll end up there then. I don't think there's much more
No.
to cover. So I'm going to end the stream here in a bit.